What's up, Misfit Nation? Welcome to another episode of the Misfit Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, Matt the Misfit. Tonight, we're going to go over Monday Night Raw for November the 14th, 2022. We are just, I believe, 2 weeks away from Survivor Series War Games. We have new members announced for the Women's War Games matches. Excuse me. Been a long day for me. We also find out that we have another match announced. AJ Styles will go one-on-one with Finn Balor at the pay-per-view. We don't know what's going to happen with Seth Rollins. We have some breaking news on Kevin Owens. He will be missing War Games. I have some news on that coming up near the end of the show. Bobby Lashley, being Bobby Lashley as always. Austin Theory is a clown, as you can see in the thumbnail. Had to do it this week. Sorry, and all that good stuff. If you like what you see here, comment down below, hit the like button, subscribe, follow the social media at Misfit Wrestle TV, at Misfit Wrestling Pod on Instagram, and the Misfit Wrestle TV thing is on Twitter. Speaking of Instagram, let me go through this fucking story real quick. My personal story. So earlier today, I was on my personal Instagram, no problem, having fun chatting with some of my friends, and then come to find out I get hacked, right? So I've been trying for about 9.5 hours to get back into my Twitter account, or not my Twitter account, what the hell is that damn thing called? Instagram. I finally got into it. Thank God I've changed everything, passwords and shit like that, and all I have to say is to the fucking asshole to hack into my account and try to be me and pretend like I fucking shit to people. You're a piece of shit. Your whole family is a piece of shit. The people you work with is a piece of shit. Actually, I take that back with your family, but your family probably raised a piece of shit. You're a piece of shit. Get a fucking job. Find something better to do with your stupid ass life. And just again, you're a piece of shit. I can't. And the people you hang out with is a piece of shit. Fuck you. Fuck you and your entire fucking scam baiting community, fucking asshole hackers. Piss off, you worthless human beings. Anywho, let's talk about this show. Raw was not a bad show, actually. It was much better than last week. Again, it was much better than last week. At least I thought it was. But we had a very, very good main event between Finn Balor and Seth Rollins. They always deliver banger matches. That's what they do. We had a very Austin Theory, even though he's a clown in my opinion now. He gave an explanation of why he did what he did last week, even though it was stupid. In an open challenge, we'll get to that. He had a fun match with Dolph Ziggler. Not a lot of people cared. Matt Riddle and Chad Gable had a fun little match. They have great chemistry. We see Mia Yim's first match on the main roster because the Reckoning stuff, the Retribution stuff never happened. So her first match on the main roster, she took on Tamina. Fine first opponent for Mia Yim to come back. We find out Mia Yim will be on the babyface team. Rhea Ripley will be joining. It will be the last spot on War Games. I kind of talked about this last week, which actually I've been talking about this a whole week. So I called it a few others called it, and I'll talk about who I think is going to fill the final spot on the babyface team of Bianca Belair's whole team, and what Seth Rollins is going to do come Summer Survivor Series. I don't know, because Kevin Owens' status now is up in the air because he was supposed to be the final competitor for Sheamus' team at War Games. He's a vital part to that storyline with Sami Zayn and the Usos and the Bloodline. So we'll find out about all that stuff here. But Raw opened up By the way, this crowd tonight was so much better than wherever the fuck they were last week. I don't remember where they were. Where they were in someplace in Phil. I think they were in Pittsburgh last week. It was somewhere in Pennsylvania. It was one of the worst crowds they've ever been in front of. He opened up with Seth freaking Rollins, who is officially babyface at the end of the night. He's coming out. People are singing his song. He's loving every bit of it. He brings up the whole thing with Austin Theory. The crowd starts chanting, "That was stupid." And he said, "You can bring that up with him later on the night." I thought he was talking about Austin Theory, but apparently he was talking about Finn Balor. Before I can keep continuing on what he was talking about, Bobby Lashley starts coming out here. He says he is not finished with Seth Rollins. He's interrupted by Mustafa Ali, who says he's not finished with Bobby Lashley after what happened last week, where Bobby Lashley beat the ever-living piss out of him. And Seth Rollins, being the shit stirrer he is, tries to coerce these two into fighting each other. Out comes the referee. We get a match between Bobby Lashley and Mustafa Ali. Doesn't last very long. Ali, being doing the never say die attitude, like what Matt Hardy did back in 2005, 2004 ish area whenever they started doing that storyline. The match ended when Lashley catches Ali from a spear. Lashley catches Ali with a spear, and locks a hurt lock on him, and he does not tap out. He passes out. So that keeps him strong. I'm okay with this babyface thing for Ali getting, even though the crowd was wanting Lashley to beat the shit out of him again. But we're going into whatever Lashley's going to be doing. I think we're getting Lashley versus Brock, hopefully at the Royal Rumble and not WrestleMania. I think you could do other things with Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania other than Lashley, but that's what I would do at least. But we'll get to that when we get to that. Next up, we get a backstage segment with Kathy Kelly while she interviews the OC. She asks if they're worried about retaliation from Judgment Day, and AJ Styles. AJ tells them to bring it. Talking about Judgment Day to bring it. Gallows asks for recognition, excuse me, for bringing Mia Yim in. Before Styles says the problems between Judgment Day and the OC have to come to an end. He challenges Balor to a match at Survivor Series. Mia Yim tells them to keep the beers cold if she takes care of business in her first match back in the company. So, of course, we get that, and later on we find out that match is official for Survivor Series, which would be fantastic. It was going to be their second singles match in WWE. The first one being at TLC in 2017, when it was supposed to be Finn Balor, the Demon Finn Balor, taking on Bray Wyatt just in drag as Sister Abigail. Thank God that didn't happen. We go back from break. We get Mia Yim versus Tamina. Rhea Ripley and Dominic head down to watch the action. The bell rings. No, basically, this is a squash here for Mia Yim. Mia Yim wins with Eat Defeat for the win. As this match is going on, which I think I would love that Triple H has got rid of that fucking thing I hated. So you guys remember when under Vince McMahon, where you had fucking you had people, if somebody was watching a match in the back and they had to stand a certain way, like they're standing one way and they have to turn their neck just to look at the TV. Triple H has gotten rid of that, so Damage CTRL is watching the match between Tamina and Mia Yim, scouting, I guess you want to call it, for another team member for Wargames. Instead of you know, looking left, and while standing still, looking left at the TV, they're standing in front of the TV, looking at it, and uh, like I said, scouting. And I thought that was a brilliant move by Triple H. I'm so glad he changed that. So after this match, Rhea gets told by Mia Yim to get in the ring. Rhea teases to do so, but she decides not to. Then we go back stage. Matt Riddle's playing his bongos. Kathy Kelly approaches him and asks where Elias is. Matt Riddle says he's doing big rock star things. Says he finally agreed to be in a band with him. Alpha Academy walks in. Gable says the only thing that's more ridiculous than their band is the idea of them as a tag team. Not Gabriel, Chad Gable says he will do to him what Otis did to Elias last week. Riddle calls them lamos. Then we get Mia Yim walking backstage. And this is one of the first parts of the setups to the War Games. One of the things I credit Triple H about this. There was multiple segments throughout the night that made sense and made everything blended together for War Games and accomplished a lot of things all at once, and I'm very happy to see that. So, Damage Control approaches Mia Yim while Mia Yim is walking back from her match with Tamina. They say that they know what it feels like to be forgotten about, and like Mia Yim was, and they invite her to join her team, Team Damage Control at War Games. By the way, I should point out here through this whole thing, I know a lot of people think that she's with the group. She's really not. She's not officially part of Damage Control because she was not in this segment here. Nikki Cross was absent from this segment. It was just Io, Dakota, and Bailey. Mia Yim says she has no problems with Bianca Belair and Alexa Bliss and Asuka, and Io tells her not to take too long to think about it. While that's happening, the OC comes up with Anderson holding a tub full of beer, and Damage Control walks off. We go on to Matt Riddle versus Gable. This match was very, very fun. It was not a long match, but for what it was fun. These two have very great chemistry. Like I said, match starts. They exchange submissions before Gabriel. I said it again. Gable. Like I said, it's been a long day for me. Plants Riddle with a side suplex. He starts delivering some chops in the corner, then followed by a dragon suplex. Riddle fires back with with a gut wrench suplex. Then followed by the Broton. So he sends the top rope, Otis distracts him, allowing Gable to hit a superplex. We go back from break. Matt Riddle delivers a fisherman driver to Gabriel. Yeah, I said it again. Back from break, Riddle delivers fisherman driver to Gable. The two men exchange forearms before Riddle hits a ripcord knee and a leaping forearm. He delivers an exploder, followed by another Broton with a power bomb afterwards. He hits the knee on Gable, on the Gable's jaw, that is. Then goes for a pin. Gable kicks out. Gable goes for the ankle lock, but Riddle escapes. Locks in a jumping triangle. A choke submission move. Gable escapes it, hits the bridge tiger DDT, goes for the pin. Riddle kicks out. Riddle hits a DDT off the ropes, aka Randy Orton style, which is the what Tommaso Ciampa, I like what Tommaso Ciampa calls it. He calls it Willow's Bell, so I'm going to keep it called that for now. But Gable manages to pull a black slide and puts his feet on the ropes for the win with the help of Otis. I guess a fun little match. Nothing too big happened, but it was a fun little match. Like I said, these two have great chemistry. I wouldn't mind seeing it. Like I don't mind seeing these two wrestle, but we don't see them every these type of matches every week, so that's good for me. At least under Triple H. We go to backstage. Baron Corbin and JBL are playing a game of poker. Corbin wins the hand and gathers up the poker chips. A waiter offers them a Kentucky whiskey. But JBL sends him away. JBL says he picked out some expensive prime whiskey from them. Akira Tozawa sits at the table and says he wants to play poker. Puts on sunglasses before Bradshaw asks if he's played poker and he knows the rules. He says no, but Bradshaw deals the hand anyways. Nick's hand anyways. Then we have a Miz TV segment with the Miz trying to apologize to WWE Universe. We're talking like Michael Cole with the WWE part. So Miz is trying to, apologize to somebody. I don't really give a fuck who. Gargano comes out. They start going back and forth. Gargano basically says, you gotta tell the truth or whatever it was. You owe him money or whatever. Gargano says that in 2 weeks' time, which is not Survivor Series, but in the next 2 weeks on Raw, it's gonna be Dexter Lumis versus The Miz. If Dexter Lumis wins, he gets a WWE contract, and Miz owes him the money he owed, whatever, the stupid money crap. And obviously, if Miz wins, he doesn't get the contract. Miz accepts the camera. This was kind of funny. Cameraman gets into the ring, reveals himself to be Lumis. That was kind of funny, and the Miz escapes. I'm over the storyline. I could not wait for it to end. I think I sort of agree with a lot of people when it comes to Gargano. He should be doing some other things, but I think Ciampa going down with the injury or going down with that surgery that he went down with, put a halt on whatever they had plans. Like I think there was going to be plans to put DIY Day back together. Those plans obviously seem like they've been halted because of Ciampa's injury. As much like Kevin Owens, and like I said, we'll get to Kevin Owens after all this when I get to the main event. Next up, we have a video of Dominic Mysterio and Shelton Benjamin getting into a verbal confrontation, which I don't give a damn what was said because I don't want to hear Dominic talk. Next, we got, like I said, this follows by Dominic Mysterio taking on Shelton Benjamin, beating him by dumb babyface syndrome. Benjamin gets distracted by Damian Priest and hits the frog splash and the DDT for win. Dominic wins. Okay, whatever. Next up, so next up we'll hear from Austin Theory. Austin Theory gets called the former Money in the Bank winner. He basically says that the reason he didn't cash in on Roman Reigns because the Usos and the Bloodline are always in the way, and then he's never alone. I'm like, dude, you have 6 more months of being the fucking briefcase holder. You could have cashed in at any time from within 6 more months. You didn't have to do that. And it was an open fucking challenge. There's another issue I had with that. Anyway, Dolph Ziggler comes in, says that was the worst cash in ever, which it obviously was. He says that he'll try to teach him a few things, but his ego's too big. We come to find out we're gonna get Ziggler versus Austin Theory later on. So we get a video package hyping up Wargames. Of course, official theme song is Black Sabbath's War Pigs. Perfect fit. I don't know why people are complaining about it. It just makes sense. War Pigs, Black Sabbath, Wargames. There you go. See, I don't know what other people watched in this next match. Io Shirai, Io Sky defeated Dana Brooke. I don't know what other people thought was seeing. I seen Io Io Sky murdering Dana Brooke. Like, that's what she does. It was he only got a few shots in on Io. That was it. Everything else was Io beating the shit out of her. Io wins with her beautiful moonsault. Uh, After the match, Mia Yim heads to the ring, addresses Damage Control, says she's picked her side for War Games, and out comes Bianca Belair's team of Bianca, Alexa, and Asuka. So there's 4 of your 5 baby faces for the for War Games. And I think, and when I get to that, I'll talk about that later in a little bit when we get to who I think the 5th is going to be. We head backstage. Akira Tozawa is basically beating these 2 at poker. We get a little small glimpse of broke ass Baron Corbin. Then we have a match set for later on, Baron Corbin and Akira Tozawa. Next up, Dolph Ziggler versus Austin Theory. Even though I didn't fucking like the way he explained his promo, this match was actually really, really good. But the match ends via referee stoppage as Austin Theory just loses his fucking mind, even though he should have done that last week. And that's usually how that segment ended. That will be the last time you see Austin Theory tonight, or on the show rather. Rhea Ripley approaches Damage Control, says, "If Mia Yim's on Bianca's team, then I'm on hers." So then we have Bianca Belair's our heel team is now set. It's Bayley, Io Sky, Dakota Kai, Nikki Cross, and Bianca and Rhea Ripley. On the face team, it's Bianca, Asuka, Alexa, and Mia Yim. Personally, I think it should be as 5th person. I know I keep seeing names out there like Becky Lynch. It's not going to be Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch is going to be safe. Becky Lynch, I don't think it's going to be cleared by Survivor Series. I think Becky Lynch is going to be the Royal Rumble. She's going to win to get her match with Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania. It's not going to be fucking Sasha Banks. Get that one out of your fucking head. I originally thought it was going to be Candice LeRae. However, I also had an idea about it being Tegan Knox with the whole, Dakota Kai basically costing her a chance to even being in the first War Games, Women's War Games. But then it dawned on me during the show, and then they even played the concerto spot before the Rollins and Balor match. That what if the 5th woman for Team Bianca is actually Beth Phoenix? And the more I think about it, it makes a lot of sense for it to be Beth Phoenix. Like, sometime after the match with AJ and Finn, you can bring in not Balor. What the fuck is his name? Edge. You can bring in Edge if you want to, but I think on my pick right now is Beth Phoenix joining Bianca Belair's team at War Games, and I think Bianca's team. I still think that Damage Control should win. However, I think whenever we get to the one-on-one match, I think I think Rhea Ripley should lose to, or no, Rhea Ripley should beat Beth Phoenix, because I do think we're getting Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair at WrestleMania. That's what I would do, at least. But that's what I have. That's my idea for the 5th spot for the Women's War Games match on Bianca's team. Baron Corbin beat up Akira Tozawa. Okay, moving on. I don't really care about talking about JBL that much. We go to Kathy Kelly. She's interviewing Bianca Belair's team. She asks, what's their reaction to Rhea Ripley joining Damage Control and Nikki Cross in War Games? Bianca tells Cast to wait and see who they recruited as their fifth member. I think it's Beth Phoenix. Like I said, she says no matter who they throw in into that match to determine which team. So next week they're gonna do a singles match between one member of Bianca's team versus one member of Bailey's team, and the winner of that match is going to get the team advantage in Wargames. I think that's going to be the same thing on SmackDown next week. With Bloodline versus Sheamus's team. Next up, we have Seth freaking Rollins defeating Finn Balor to retain the United States Championship. These two have incredible chemistry. These two have never had bad matches with each other. One of my favorite spots in this match was them teasing the book abutment to the barricade from SummerSlam that 2016, where Balor hurt his shoulder. At one point, Balor hits a drop kick into Rollins on the barricade, tosses him back into the ring. Rollins delivers a power bomb, then goes for a pin. Balor kicks out. Rollins ascends to the top rope. Looks for a Phoenix splash. Balor rolls out of the way, then hits a drop kick. Balor then climbs to the top rope. Rollins meets him there, delivering a suplex. Balor fires back with a 1960, which looked beautiful. Then goes for a pin, but Rollins kicks out. That was a perfect near throw because I thought Balor was actually going to win the title there. Rollins delivers a Falcon Arrow, then goes for a pin. Balor kicks out, then Judgment Day starts running out. It causes a distraction. This allows Balor to hit the double stomp on Rollins before the OC ran down to a level of the Judgment Day and starts beating them up on the outside. Back of the ring, Balor kicks Rollins into the corner, or drop kicks Rollins into the corner. Ascends to the top rope. AJ Styles, off a distraction, trips Finn Balor. Rollins delivers a scarab stomp for the win to retain the championship. Following a match, Austin Theory comes out of nowhere and starts beating the shit out of Seth Rollins, hitting the A-Town down at the end of it as the show goes off the air, holding the United States Championship. So Raw itself was not a bad show. It was actually a better show than last week. I give it I'll be generous tonight and give it a 7 out of 10. Not the best Raw. Certainly better than last week. What do we do with Seth Rollins at Survivor Series? See, that's tricky because it looks like they're gonna do Rollins and Austin Theory at the pay-per-view, but I don't know because if you guys aren't unaware, last night at a house show, Kevin Owens, who came back the night before, sprained his MCL. That usually is 6 to 8 weeks out of action. The Wargames match for the men was set up on SmackDown last week, and I said this for weeks. It was going to be the Bloodline with Roman, the Usos, Solo Sikoa, and Sami Zayn taking on Sheamus, Pete Dunne, Ridge Holland, Drew McIntyre, and who I said was going to be the fifth guy, Kevin Owens. Now that's not going to happen. Although the fifth man part's not, Kevin Owens being in it's not going to happen. So I'm trying to figure out who is going to replace Kevin Owens. And really, there's only 3 options on the entire roster, because if you go to the roster on WWE.com, on Raw, all you really have is Seth Rollins and Matt Riddle. If you're taking Kevin Owens out of the equation, people are not really tied up in major storylines right now. You have Matt Riddle and Seth Rollins. Edge wasn't tied up with Judgment Day. I would say Edge would fit in there, but he's tied up with Judgment Day. And also, it has to be somebody who has issues with the bloodline. So again, and if Finn Balor wasn't a heel and was not part of Judgment Day, I would put Finn Balor in there. But he's, like I said, he's with Judgment Day. He's a major storyline right now. So Seth Rollins and Finn Balor is one of the other options. On SmackDown, you really only have one option on SmackDown, and that's Shinsuke Nakamura. Sure you could have Rey Mysterio, but Rey Mysterio's dealing with a foot injury. So really, you have Shinsuke Nakamura, if you guys remember, earlier this year, storyline wise, he blames the Usos for Rick Boogs tearing his quad, or his quads, both of them at least, and was beat up for it on the Raw or on the SmackDown after WrestleMania. And then last year, going into the Royal Rumble, Nakamura was screwed out of a World Championship opportunity, going through the gauntlet only to be fucked over by the Bloodline with Adam Pearce pinning him or whatever it was. So Nakamura does have a case to want to be in this match with the Bloodline. But if I had to choose a replacement for Kevin Owens, I would go with Seth Rollins. I would hold off on the Seth Rollins Austin Theory match until like the night after Survivor Series or something. But that's what I would do. That unless Kevin Owens is able to make the show, I can't see it being anybody else. I don't want it to be Brock Lesnar. That I'm going to say this right now. It should not be Brock Lesnar. Do not put Brock Lesnar anywhere near that cage. But yeah, that's what I have to say about Raw. Raw, like I said, was an alright show. Wasn't the best show. Things happened. Things were progressed. Like I said, we have a new additions to the Wargames match. I think Beth Phoenix is going to be the 5th woman on Team Bianca. Theory is a moron. If you've seen, he's a clown. I put him him in a clown face on the thumbnail. Seth Rollins is doing amazing work as he's doing some of the best stuff of his career. He's over as a babyface now. He is a babyface. Judgment Day is hot as always. Well, not as always, as what they're doing now under Triple H. Let's talk about Stone Cold though. Stone Cold Steve Austin. So earlier today, Fightful Select reported that Stone Cold Steve Austin was offered another match under the new Triple H regime. Possibly, I didn't say if it's for WrestleMania or not, but it seems more likely to be for WrestleMania 39. Stone Cold did say a few months back that he would be open to doing another match because he felt good when he had that match with Kevin Owens. So I do think that Austin coming back for a match is more likely than The Rock coming back for a match. Who I would put Austin with? I put him with John Cena. That's really, if you really think about it, that's the only match I can think of. Other than that, unless they get CM Punk, which that's not going to happen. Austin versus Cena. It sounds like a thing to do, but that's all. If Austin wants to do it, Austin looks in phenomenal shape. He looked great at WrestleMania 38. He had a really fun match with Kevin Owens, and the bumps he took and things I didn't think he was going to take, like a suplex on the concrete. He looked great. So we'll see. We'll see what happens in that. Let's talk about the rest of the week. This week is a big week. We got Full Gear coming up on Saturday night. I will be doing previews and predictions on Thursday, assuming we get a full card on Thursday. And I'm sorry, I apologize for not doing Dynamite last week. I know I said I was going to get to it the next day. I unfortunately didn't. That is my apologies. I just wasn't feeling up to it that night, or that week to do that show. Um, but I did do SmackDown. But yeah, so you will see this. You will see the Dynamite review on Wednesday. Uh, and we'll do previews and predictions for Full Gear on Thursday. Friday is obviously SmackDown. We'll find out what's going to happen with the men's War Games. Who's going to fill that fifth spot for uh, Team Sheamus or Team Drew, whatever you want to call it. We'll find out with all that stuff. Bray Wyatt, will he have match at Survivor Series? Will his match with with what the fuck is he with LA Knights take place at Survivor Series? We'll find out and all that good stuff. Saturday, of course, we have Full Gear review, and then Sunday night, sometime Sunday, I will get to my New Japan Pro Wrestling Stardom review. I will also do my preview and predictions on the same Full Gear thing. So you'll see that. The previews and predictions. So I'll be doing so let me rephrase that. On Thursday I'll be doing preview and predictions for both both the Stardom New Japan show and the Full Gear show. So that's gonna happen on Thursday. SmackDown on Friday. Full Gear review on Saturday night. Sunday night I will be doing the Stardom New Japan Pro Wrestling historic crossover event, which will be main evented by Mayu Iwatani and Kairi Hojo. They will be facing off to determine the inaugural IWGP Women's Championship. I know some more matches were added to that show. We also got the tag team match. Most of these matches will be mixed tag. We have, I believe, it's Utami Hayashishita teaming with Hiroshi Tanahashi. They will be taking on the team of Julia and no, actually, correct me. So here's the current card as it stands for Start Crossover. So pre-show, I believe this is the full card now. So we got the pre-show, got a Stardom Rambo, which is their 15-woman Royal Rumble-ish thing. We have tag team 8-man tag match. I'm not even going to pretend to announce any of these names, these and most of these names. I do know Clark Connors is in there, so I do know that. On the main card, we have Chaos, which is Ishii, Yo, and Yoshihashi will be teaming with Lio Rush to take on the House of Tortures, Evil, Takahashi, Sho, and Dick Togo. We also have Queen's Quest, Sai Kamatani, teaming with Zumi, Lady C to take on Donna Del Mondo's Tekla, Amaika, and Maya Sakara. I'm sorry if I butchered that name out. But one of the mixed tag matches on the show, Tom Lawyer and Shiri would take on Zack Sabre Jr. and the the 5-star Grand Prix winner, Julia, who will be challenging the World of Stardom champion on the 28th of December, I believe. 8-person tag match. Suzuki against Taichi and Yoshinabu. I'm gonna mispronounce that name. But just gonna say Suzuki Gun will team with Mel Tears, Tam Nakano and Natsupoi. They'll be taking on Suzuki Gun's El Desperado and Doki with Black Desires, Momo Watanabe, and Starlight Kid, two of my absolute favorite wrestlers on the planet right now. One of the best tag teams on the planet too, and Black Desire. Also on the show, another mixed tag match. I just talked about this earlier. Hiroshi Tanahashi and Utami Hayashishita take on Hiroki Goto and Maika. That should be fun. Legado del Fantasma. Los Ingonables de Japón, Naito, Shingo Takagi, Sanada, Hiromu Takahashi, and Bushi will take on United Empires, Aussie Open, Catch 1-2, which is JP, JTP, and Akira, and Gideon Gray. So that's going to be a 10-man tag match. Chaos is we got Chaos is Kazuchika Okada, and Toriano will team with the Great Muta to take on United Empires, Great O'Khan, Jeff Cobb, and Aaron, former the former fucking dude. They'll be taking the United Empire. Will Ospreay will defend the United States Championship against Shota Udomo. Shooter will be getting a match, so that's pretty cool. So that's one of the championships defending, and then you got the main event, inaugural women's championship, IWGP Women's Championship, Mayu Iwatani taking on Kairi Hojo. So that's a pretty stark card for that show. I'm excited for that. I'm also excited for Full Gear. We'll go over that card real quick one last time before we get out of here. Main event, Moxley will defend the AEW World Title against MJF. The Acclaim will defend the tag team titles against Swerve and Glory. What I think is going to be the finals. I'm going to go and just confirm the finals right here for myself without even watching the show. Without even watching Rampage, I know what the finals is going to be. Ethan Page will probably take on Ricky Starks in the finals for the AEW World Championship Eliminator tournament finals, and the winner of that match will get a match at Winter is Coming on December 14th. Toni Storm defends the AEW Women's Championship against Jamie Hayter. I'm hoping Jamie Hayter gets her shot there. Fatal 4-way for the ROH World Title. Chris Jericho. This is actually, I believe, this will be the first time that the Ring of Honor Championship will be defended on a AEW pay-per-view. No, okay, I don't know if it should count like Forbidden Door. Okay, all right. This will be the first time that Ring of Honor title will be defended on a solo AEW pay-per-view. So I'm not going to count that co-branded pay-per-view. This will be the first time. Chris Jericho defends against Bryan Danielson, Claudio Castagnoli, and Sammy Guevara. Jade Cargill defends the TBS title against Nyla Rose. Britt Baker takes on Saraya in Saraya's first match in over 6 years, something like that. 4 years, something like that. Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal take on Sting and Darby Allin. Luchasaurus takes on Jungle Boy Jack Perry in a steel cage match. That's currently the card set for the show. There's also rumors of other matches to be put on the show. I expect Wardlow to defend the TNT title against either Samoa Joe or Will Hobbs. I think FTR is going to defend the tag team titles against the Kingdom. If not at the show, probably at Final Battle. I think the trios titles will be on the line. Death Triangle, I think, are going to defend the titles against the returning Elite. So they will be on the show too. So that's the card for Full Gear. We'll run down the predictions and picks for the historic crossover and Full Gear show this coming Thursday night. But I've been Matt the Misfit. Like I said, if you guys like what you hear and see here on this show, hit the subscribe button, the like button, comment down below. Again, it helps me out big time if you guys do like the buttons, then I know, and smash the like button and share this this podcast out there, because then I know that you guys are watching, and that I appreciate that very, very much. Follow the social media, Misfit Wrestle TV on Twitter, on Instagram at Misfit Wrestling Pod. I was able to find out the Facebook pages at Misfit Wrestling Podcast. On the youtube.com/at Misfit Wrestling Podcast. You can find it that way, easier that way. But until then, I will see you guys for Dynamite, and then all the other shows that come up with it. Next week is even a bigger show. We got Survivor Series next week. War Games. I'm pumped to see War Games on the main roster. I'm pumped to see Nikki Cross do some crazy shit in War Games. Until then, I will see you guys later. Peace out.